God bless everyone. Today, I bring you the extraordinary testimony of Mark Henderson, a 50-year-old financial consultant from Chicago whose life was forever changed by a journey into an otherworldly realm. What he witnessed defies belief, a surreal and mysterious place of reckoning where he came face to face with none other than Barack Obama. In this haunting encounter, secrets were unveiled, and truths were revealed that shook Mark to his core. Now, I will read Mark's letter exactly as he shared it, and together we will uncover his sin and the incredible reason why Barack Obama was there. My name is Mark Henderson, and for as long as I can remember, my life has been about success. As a financial consultant, I spent decades advising some of the most powerful and influential clients in the world, navigating deals that shaped industries and lives. My career became my identity, a carefully crafted persona of wealth, prestige, and influence. I belonged to elite circles where power was currency, and my reputation opened doors that most people could only dream of. On the surface, I had everything: a sprawling home, luxury cars, and access to the finest things money could buy. But beneath it all, there was a void, a gnawing sense of emptiness that I couldn't name, no matter how much success I achieved. I wasn't always this way. I was raised in a devout Christian household where faith and family were at the center of everything. Sundays were for church, and I was taught to see the world through the lens of compassion and honesty. But as I climbed the ladder of success, those values began to feel like relics of a simpler time. In the high-stakes world of finance, morality wasn't just inconvenient, it was a liability. The rules of the game demanded pragmatism, and I learned to prioritize profit over ethics. I told myself it was just the way things worked, that as long as the outcomes were good, the means didn't matter. Slowly but surely, I drifted further from my faith, burying it beneath spreadsheets and contracts. Despite my outward success, the emptiness inside me grew. I kept telling myself it was stress, a natural part of the ambitious life I had chosen. But deep down, I knew it was more than that. There was a piece of me, something fundamental, that I had lost along the way. I ignored it for years, pushing forward, chasing the next deal, the next milestone. Little did I know that my carefully constructed life was about to come crashing down. What happened next would force me to confront everything I had become and everything I had left behind, sending me on a journey I could never have imagined. It was supposed to be just another day, another deal. I was on my way to close a multi-million-dollar agreement that would cement my position as one of the top financial consultants in the industry. My mind was racing with details, figures, negotiation points, and strategies. I barely noticed the heavy rain that slicked the roads or the cars speeding past me. Then, in an instant, everything changed. A truck veered into my lane, its headlights blinding as it careened toward me. The screech of tires was deafening, followed by the shattering of glass and the sickening crunch of metal. My world spun violently before plunging into stillness. I felt my body slam against the seatbelt, and then nothing. Just a numbing silence that seemed to stretch forever. As I lay there, broken and battered, something strange began to happen. I was aware of my physical body, its pain, its stillness, but I was also aware of something else, something deeper. I felt myself begin to detach, as if my very essence was being pulled free. It was subtle at first, like a gentle tug, but it quickly became undeniable. I was being drawn into a swirling void, a vast, dark expanse that seemed alive with its own energy. I could no longer hear the rain or the distant voices of onlookers. Instead, I was surrounded by a profound silence, one that wasn't empty but heavy, as if it carried a meaning I couldn't yet comprehend. At first, I was disoriented, unsure of what was happening, but then confusion gave way to a strange, unearthly calm. I realized I was leaving my earthly form behind, moving towards something I couldn't see but could feel, a presence, a pull, an inevitability. The sensation was both terrifying and strangely reassuring, as though I was heading to a place I was always meant to go. The darkness around me wasn't cold or cruel. It was vast and infinite, enveloping me as I drifted deeper into the unknown. Whatever lay ahead, I knew it would change everything I thought I understood about life, death, and the choices I had made. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would shake the very foundations of my soul. As I emerged from the swirling void, I found myself standing in a surreal and breathtaking landscape. Towering pillars of light and shadow rose into a sky that seemed to stretch endlessly, shimmering with a strange, otherworldly energy. Each pillar pulsed as though alive, casting shifting beams that illuminated scenes from human history, moments of ambition, triumph, and failure. The ground beneath me was smooth yet unsteady, as if it mirrored the instability of the human spirit itself. The air hummed with a low vibration, a sound that felt both ancient and familiar, as though it carried the collective stories of all who had walked this path before me. It was a place of reckoning, where every choice, every achievement, and every failure was laid bare. As I gazed at the pillars, mesmerized by their hypnotic dance of light and shadow, a figure began to emerge from the center of the scene. At first, it was just an outline, but as the light shifted, his features became unmistakable. It was Barack Obama. His presence was commanding, as it had always been, but there was something different here. He stood alone, surrounded by symbols of his legacy, the words of his speeches etched in glowing arcs above him, and shadows flickering with the weight of the controversies that had defined his time in power. His expression was introspective, almost heavy, as if he were carrying the burden of choices that shaped nations, yet scarred him deeply. The sight was both awe-inspiring and unsettling, and I couldn't help but wonder, why was he here, and what did this mean? Before I could make sense of what I was seeing, a voice began to speak. Not in words, but in my mind, a telepathic whisper that resonated with truth and gravity. It revealed the duality of Obama's life, a leader celebrated across the globe for his ideals of hope, change, and unity, yet also a man burdened by the compromises and decisions that fractured trust and sowed division. As the voice narrated, flashes of Obama's most pivotal moments unfolded before me. His inspiring speeches that moved millions, the grueling toll of political battles, and the personal cost of leadership. I saw the weight of moral ambiguity in his choices, the struggle between his aspirations and the harsh realities of power. These images didn't just reveal him. They mirrored my own life, my own compromises, and my own ambition. The pillars around me began to pulse faster, as though urging me to move closer, to dig deeper into the truth of what this place and this encounter truly meant. And so, I stepped forward, knowing that the answers I sought were waiting in the shadows ahead. The world around me was unlike anything I could have imagined, a vast, ethereal plain where light and shadow engaged in a perpetual dance, colliding and intertwining as if reflecting the duality of human existence. Streams of golden light flowed like rivers across the horizon, their brilliance embodying aspirations, triumphs, and moments of hope. Yet, alongside these streams were voids of darkness, deep and impenetrable, representing unfulfilled promises, hidden regrets, and the weight of choices left unresolved. The ground beneath me was translucent, shimmering with reflections of these opposing forces, making it feel as though I were walking on the thin line between light and shadow, between what could have been and what was. The air itself seemed alive, charged with an electric hum that resonated deep within my chest. It wasn't just sound, it was sensation, vibrating with an intensity that was both exhilarating and unnerving. As I moved through this surreal space, the hum gave way to whispers. They were faint at first, but as I listened more closely, I realized they weren't random. These whispers were stories, snippets of ambition, fragments of dreams pursued and abandoned, and cries of disillusionment from those who had fallen short. They swirled around me like a living chorus, each voice distinct, yet blending into a haunting melody. It was a soundscape of humanity's collective struggle, its triumphs and failures echoing through the infinite expanse. The interplay of light and shadow created a kaleidoscope of emotions, casting me and Barack Obama into sharp relief as though we were actors on a stage. The golden streams would illuminate his figure for brief moments, highlighting the ideals he represented and the aspirations he had inspired. Then, just as suddenly, the dark voids would envelop him, revealing the weight of the controversies and compromises that had shaped his legacy. Around us, a faint but persistent chorus of voices grew louder, recounting the ripple effects of decisions made, some triumphant, others tragic. The atmosphere was overwhelming, yet it felt as if it were drawing me in, urging me to confront not only the truths of Obama's journey, but also my own. What was this place trying to show me? And why did it feel like every step forward was taking me closer to a revelation I wasn't ready to face? With each passing moment, the pull became stronger, and I knew I had no choice but to move forward. As I stood immersed in the swirling clash of light and shadow, the whispers and cries around me began to crescendo, their weight pressing down on me like an unbearable burden. Then, without warning, a blinding white light erupted across the plain, enveloping everything in its radiant brilliance. It wasn't harsh or painful. It was warm, pure, and alive, carrying with it a sense of peace I had long forgotten. The shadows retreated instantly, swallowed by the light's overwhelming power, and the haunting chorus fell silent. In the midst of this divine glow, a figure emerged. It was Jesus. His presence was both serene and commanding, radiating an authority that needed no words to assert itself. His gaze was piercing yet filled with compassion, as if he saw every part of me, my successes, my failures, my sins, and loved me regardless. When he spoke, his voice wasn't heard so much as felt, resonating through every fiber of my being. "Every decision ripples through the lives of others," he said, each word carrying the weight of undeniable truth. "Redemption comes not from perfection, but from the courage to seek the light and align with truth." His words cut through the layers of justifications and excuses I had built around my life, exposing the raw core of my choices. I saw flashes of my own journey, moments when I had prioritized ambition over integrity, profit over people, and convenience over morality. Yet, his words weren't meant to condemn. They were an invitation, a call to step away from the shadows of my past and into the light of a renewed purpose. The brilliance around him grew even brighter, filling me with a profound sense of hope, as if I had been given a second chance to redefine my life. And then, just as suddenly as the light had come, it was gone. My eyes snapped open, and I found myself staring at the sterile white ceiling of a hospital room. My body ached, every movement a reminder of the car accident that had brought me here, but the pain was overshadowed by the sight of my family, my wife and children, standing by my bedside, their faces etched with relief and love. Tears filled my eyes as I realized I had been given more than a second chance at life. I had been given the opportunity to change. From that moment on, I resolved to abandon the relentless pursuit of wealth and power that had defined me. I vowed to live with integrity, compassion, and faith, guided by the lessons I had learned. But even as I embraced this transformation, lingering questions gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. Why had I been shown that place, that vision? What role did Barack Obama play in this greater narrative of human struggle and redemption? Deep down, I knew my journey wasn't over. The answers I sought were still unfolding, waiting for me to uncover their deeper meaning. As I reflect on this extraordinary journey and the profound truths it revealed, I can't help but wonder, what do you think about it? Have you ever questioned the impact of your choices or the path you're on? I invite you to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. What do you make of the vision I experienced, the encounter with Barack Obama, and the message of redemption? Your insights could shed light on this incredible story and help us explore the deeper meanings together. Let's start the conversation. I'd love to hear from you.